to inspire and reward
billions of business souls
to gamify their life,
to share products and services
they care deeply about,
so they experience
the magical power
of referral marketing.
Welcome to the next episode of the NaXum Podcast. I'm Gaelle, and I'm here with CEO Ben Dixon. And today we're going to talk about another thing that is very important in the direct selling industry. And it's something that is pretty, I'm not going to say controversial, but it's pretty interesting. It's a pretty interesting topic. So one of the questions that we kind of come across is, what can we do to address the negative perceptions or stereotypes in the direct selling industry? And how do we tackle these misconceptions head on and shape a positive narrative? I'd love to hear your thoughts about this, Sir Ben. And maybe we could even dive into practical strategies, or even discuss how we can address these towards like getting more customers or getting more people in their pipeline.
It's such a great question, Gaelle, because the first step I would say to how we address negative stereotypes and perceptions in the industry is don't be the stereotypes and negative perceptions of the industry. So many times we talk about the topic of being a person of integrity and vision. And as a leader, you cannot lead with the same behavior that is the stereotypes and misperceptions. So just as an example, a stereotype of health and wellness companies in our space, just as a good example, is that you don't want your people out there making crazy claims about your product, curing certain diseases or solving, overnight illness issues. And yet from stage, many executives, people who are the CEO and the lead visionary, will bring out all the science and bring out all the stories and bring out all the curing and on stage to show people, wow, look how impressive our product is. And yet that's exactly what we don't want people in the field doing. Another great stereotype is in the making money portion of our space. We have this stereotype that we want to get away from of people talking about these luxurious lifestyles of, you should quit what you're doing and join my business so that you can get yourself a Lamborghini and earn six figures your first year. When we all know the majority of the people in the space are here for some part-time income, some side gig income that helps their family out, maybe replaces a part-time job or just helps the family out with regular expenses in their life, that it's not about these big top earner positions. But once again, if you're a leader and you're the executive and you're parading these super earners from the top, it's the behavior other people want to do. In America, we say monkey see, monkey do, right? Is that just how your kids copy you, so will your reps copy you as well, Gaelle. That's a big one we see all the time. The other place I see an opportunity would be in how we onboard people and setting up a plan for how new people are going to win. You and I have talked about this in other webinars and podcasts we've been on together for the DSEF. And thank you so much for hosting the DSEF, Gaelle. You've done such a great job for the Women in Leadership series. If anyone's listening today and hasn't yet seen Gaelle Ansaldo's Women in Leadership series from the DSEF podcast, make sure you guys take a moment to check that out. It's a longer podcast style than our NaXum podcast. Gaelle and I get the host together. These sessions are 30, 40, sometimes 50 minutes long. We bring in incredible executives from around the world that get to speak on these. And Gaelle does a fantastic job moderating those sessions and unpacking it. And so if you're new to the NaXum podcast and checking out this content today, definitely go check out DSEF as well. We can link to it in the show notes today for you. For number 2, for onboarding, I would encourage people to have a clear plan for new people to win. Having the steps laid out, what to do in your first 24 hours, what to do in your first 7 days, what to do in your first 30 days. It eliminates a lot of the weird misconceptions of, no one helps you, and you kind of just have to call your friends and family. And calling friends and family may be some of the people you reach out to if your product or service solves a need for them. It's not just throwing spaghetti at the wall thinking an offer is for everybody.
I completely agree. And I think one of the reasons why people get misconceptions is because they're blurring the lines between making it sound more appealing than what it is. And honestly, the reality is it takes a lot of work. And while it is rewarding and it brings it does help a lot of people, there is work into it. So we need to provide the proper training, the necessary support, and the resources to succeed. And by showcasing success stories within the organization, dispel any doubts and inspire confidence in the industry's potential.
Gail, that's such a huge point. If you don't do the work, team, of creating powerful tools that model the appropriate behavior for how your people should share, passionate people are going to just make up whatever they think will get attention to promote your products and services. Like you nailed it, Gail. And you think of compliance challenges that hurt companies today and compliance issues that come up, many times that is not, oh, this rogue person is evil or rogue person is doing this to harm. No, many times it's well-intentioned people who didn't have proper behavior modeled
or information
to them.
Right.
Yeah. Or information on how to share. So right on, Gail. I'd wrap up with that thought is you want to put systems in place that model the appropriate behavior, and then you want to measure it because every community is different. So every community of people is different. So you want to measure, okay, out of this great stuff we gave our members of videos and pre-written text messages and blog posts and shareable social media content, you want to have a software and system in place like what we do here at NaXum with our Gen 3 predictive action platforms, to where you can get the data as a team to know, okay, what content were our members willing to share, and out of that content, which pieces actually got someone to go to our website. Because to your point, that's right there. In the absence of you providing great content, people will post whatever the heck they think they want to post, get traction. Right on.
Definitely. And measuring the data and analyzing this data can give you the right platform to make informed decisions that lead to positive outcomes and dispel any of those misconceptions. It just clears everything out, and it gives you the appropriate type of content that you want to put out and promote that as well to the different members. So it's so important to overcome these negative perceptions and stereotypes about the direct selling industry, because it has provided, and as we mentioned here in NaXum, it blesses up other people as well. So that's really important.
Well, and if you'd like to see what these types of platforms look like in real life, gang, I would invite you to set up a time for a discovery session. We'll put it in the show notes. Our team has reports that have helped many of your peers, insight reports. I'll look at how to grow virally and how to even make decisions as a direct selling executive in your team, what kinds of information to look at that will help you make decisions. And when you put together systems that model the appropriate behavior for your members and apps and marketing systems that suggest what to say, those tools give you a lot of data. And you're able to make better decisions about growing your business because of those tools. And so many times, more than just thinking about how do we have more sales enablement in our world, you can think about how do we do sales enablement in a way where we get the right feedback as a corporate team to be able to grow this business. Right on, Gail. Well, thank you so much for having me out here on the show today. It was a total pleasure to be here with you.
Thank you, Sir Ben, and thank you for your insights. And that wraps up today's episode of the NaXum Podcast. I hope you found these insights valuable and empowering. And join us next time for the next episodes. We do live streams every Wednesday, and you can find all of the episodes for season 1, 2, and 3 on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts. Have a great day, everybody.